tonight. I guess I don't need to tell you why this campaign is important. It seems already so many people realise that based on the turnout tonight, and of course based on the 3,000 people that the online petition has generated in the last 2 weeks alone. For those of you who haven't signed the online petition, I do urge you to do so. There's a written one at the back. And if you read some of the comments on that online petition, you'll see just how much Trent Park means to so many people, not just here locally in Cockfosters, but actually right across the world. The campaign was launched by David Burrows and myself together with the Friends of Trent Park, Christchurch, Cockfosters, where we are today, and the Trent Park Conservation Committee. After it was reported late last year that Alliance University College of Medical Sciences, the Malaysian private university that purchased Trent Park in 2013 from Middlesex University, was facing financial troubles. Trent Park is a historic gem, and the pictures above illustrate really its sheer beauty, which I'm sure all of you here tonight have seen in the flesh. It has suffered a fate lately, one of neglect, and as a result, the condition of the building and the heritage assets are very much at risk. There is a sense of urgency to this campaign, because on the one hand, the namesake Trent Park may seem alarmist. Indeed, the building is still there, albeit a shadow of its former self. So many people might ask, what's the urgency, what's the need? But there is a real urgency, because as we've seen in the press this week, it has been reported that a potential new buyer has been found. And with any new owner of Trent Park comes new responsibilities and great responsibilities. And every effort must be put in place now to ensure that any future owner, and indeed the current owners, do respect the heritage assets at Trent Park, and do, of course, secure and enable the public to enjoy the grounds, as they have done for many decades during Middlesex University's time there. English Heritage, indeed, have made this top of their list of priorities. They've given me the following statement to read, which is as follows. Both the Grade 2 registered landscape and the Grade 2 listed terrace to the house are already included in our Heritage at Risk register and are amongst our highest priorities. We have arranged a site visit for later this month. The landscape, indeed, is classified as high risk, and the terrace at the rear of the mansion is classified as Category A, which means immediate risk of further rapid deterioration or loss of fabric. I don't need to tell you here today that if the terrace goes on the mansion, indeed it can take the house with it. Furthermore, from what I understand from conservation officers, that several of the listed statues are stored in the undercroft beneath the terrace, and indeed if the terrace goes, those are very much at risk. I think we're fortunate that this winter that just passed was a mild one, because indeed with poor weather conditions, subsidence will most certainly take place. I have a statement from Robin Revilliers. Robin is the niece of Rex Whistler, who was unable to be with us this evening. Rex Whistler, of course, is a very famous English artist of the 20s and 30s, who painted murals for Sir Philip de Soon in Trent Park, which is still there today. And she says as follows: the Whistler decorations at Trent Park have survived some perilous changes of ownership since the 30s, but have now been included in the scheduling of the house by English Heritage. They remain a link to the building's distinguished past as a centre of social, political and cultural interest. It would be very sad if plans for the future of the house prevented the public from seeing them. Indeed, when English Heritage do conduct their site visit, they'll be very carefully examining the murals, because with the lack of power to the house since the new owners took ownership in 2013, there's certain concerns that they might be vulnerable to damp. As for the current situation, it's evident that there is little activity or education taking place on site. We're fortunate that Snake's Lane is finally being repaired. Snake's Lane formed part of the private estate, which fell into disrepair some time ago. And despite many pleas to the local authority and full council to repair this, they didn't until actually the campaign took off, and it seems that work is now commenced, if not yet completed. The site is currently occupied, if you like, by a security company who were appointed by the Malaysian University when they purchased the site. Part of their responsibility, of course, to secure the heritage assets there. It seems that the site has been hired out for commercial filming lately, which again is of considerable concern, firstly as to whether the permission has been sorted, granted for these activities, and furthermore as to whether this commercial filming has caused any damage to buildings. I've got this statement to read out on their behalf, and it's signed by Trent Park management. They say as follows: Media reports of the financial position of the owners of Trent Park, ACMS, are inaccurate. The property is a valuable asset of the company, which it continues to invest in, whilst considering various options for its future. I did invite you to attend this evening, unfortunately I wasn't able to. Of course, it's the responsibility very much of the local council to ensure that whoever is the current possession of the site is respecting the heritage assets to their full responsibility. Moreover, I think the local council has to do more to protect Trent Park and protect public access. This campaign aims really to raise awareness to local councils to do more and quickly, and indeed raise awareness amongst the wider public and indeed potential new owners, because I believe that this could serve as a great community asset. You look at a place like Kenwood House that can be profitable and very much public and very much enjoyed by the widest possible audience. And with the historical value and beauty of Trent Park, there's no reason why that can't take place with a local authority that takes decisive and proactive steps. The petition, as you may have seen already, requests Central Council to grant permanent rights of access over ground by amending planning rules, to grant it the status of an asset of community value. An application has recently been submitted by Christchurch, Cockfosters, and the Friends of Trent Park. If it is granted the status of an asset of community value, these two groups would have the opportunity to halt any sale for 6 months, during which a potential bid can be raised from alternate sources. And also, I think it's for the council to encourage whenever the trusts or individuals to consider purchasing the mansion and grounds, to restore them and to open them up for public's enjoyment. Whilst also, I think, promoting the important wartime history of Trent Park. Of course, many of the secret listings were based in Trent Park, recording the Nazi generals that were kept there and colonels. Were young sort of refugees, mainly Jewish, from Nazi Germany, who fled, enlisted on armed services, and served our country by listening to these conversations, translating them, which were crucial to the war effort. And I'll elaborate on that in due course. And I think it is fitting that some kind of tribute one day should be erected at Trent Park in their honour, and if not in their honour, at least certainly to the honour of World War II and the role that place played in World War II. And furthermore, the petition seeks to request full council reconsiders the management of Trent Park as a whole, because I, as a friend, and many others believe that Trent Park lacks in that master plan, it lacks the due attention it deserves from the full council, and I think more should be done by the council to certainly safeguard and promote the park for its natural and historic qualities. I don't want to say too much more, but of course I would like to thank all of you for coming and thank all our supporters here throughout this campaign, which are many. I'll just list a few of the people I'd like to thank by name. Of course, Dr. Richard James and Christchurch Cockfosters for all the hard work they've put in, David Morris for leading this campaign, Peter Gibbs and the Friends of Trent Park. Peter's here and he'll speak shortly. Dr. Helen Fry for their historical insights and valuable contributions so far. Eleanor Tsalakis, a council member of Weaver and an architect with conservation expertise. Alan Nicholas, former park ranger and author of The Concise History of Trent Park. Indeed, he carries out regular tours of Trent Park, and there's some flyers at the back, and the first one I think is on the 29th of March. I'd like to thank the family of Rex Whistler and his niece, Robin Ravilliers. Teresa Villiers, who would have liked to have been here this evening, but unfortunately stuck in Northern Ireland. She sends her apologies, and Teresa, like Dave, has been very proactive in making this top of the agenda of government. Nick Lavoie, who's also been very much involved, Damien Collins, the MP, and the Culture Minister, Ed Vasey, and many others. Going forward, this is really just the first step. It's certainly going to be, I think, quite a long road, and I'm sure we're all prepared for that, and I'm sure we can all count on the public support in taking the necessary steps. It seems that things are changing very quickly in Trent Park. There's a lot of mystery surrounding what's going on there at the moment, and there's certainly a lot of questions that need to be answered, not least by the people currently there, but also by the council as to what they have done over the years and what they propose to do urgently to safeguard Trent Park. I just wanted to read, actually, in conclusion, a couple of the comments that I read on the online petition left by people who signed it, just to illustrate, I think, how valuable it is, I think, to members of the public. This one is from Carol Rogers. I've lived in Trent Park for 24 years.
and it breaks my heart to see this historic building lose its beauty. I have another quote from Cllr from Malaysia, and he says as follows. Back in the year 2011, I was a student of Middlesex University, Trent Park campus. Throughout my studies there, I have always spent time to walk around and enjoy its peaceful and serene surroundings. This is something that I wasn't and will not be able to experience in my home country. My 1 year stay there was one of the most memorable moments of my life. Please save Trent Park, for should the opportunity arise, I would love to bring my parents for a visit there. Thank you very much for attending this evening. I look forward to addressing any questions you have in due course, and of course, and now to our next speaker.